Shalom. This relates to a few articles relating to, let me see what we got here. Is Britain ready for World War III? Former top general warns Britain aged to up to 60 might have let me see a little of this. Let me read it again. Is Britain ready to fight World War III? Former top general warns Britain aged up to 60 might have to serve in the Finnish style conscription army. As Whitehall examines using Ukraine training plan to get volunteers ready to fight Russia. Sounds like a draft to me. Conscription basically is a military form of military draft. Because as the intensification continues, man, the fears grow relating to that, man. That's where that goes, man. So that's our daily mail. Let me see. Who would be drafted in World War III UK? Age groups. Initially, one single male aged from 2022 were liable to be called up. However, as war escalates, the age requirement can change to include all men aged 18 to 41. It was then again later extended to cover men between ages 18 to 51. So you might hypothetically say 18 to 60. You know what I mean? Just like I stated in that report. You know, 18 to, as it continues on, depending. 18 to 41, you know what I mean? 18 to 51, 18 to 60, man. You know? This relates to thesun.com. Will I be drafted for World War III in the UK? There's conscription rules relating to the past, man. Let me see. What happens if you refuse the draft in the UK? Conscription means that you will be enlisted into the services of the army without making that decision of your own. So it's pretty much a draft. You're being drafted in there, man. There's no option, man. But this no longer exists in UK following the Second World War and national service ending in what, 1960? So they say, you know what I mean? But things continue on, like I said. The escalations of fear of individuals being drafted, and you 18 to about a certain age group are going in first, man. This is a Sun report. This is various reports. Will I be drafted for World War III conscription? Will I be drafted World War III in UK conscription? Rules passed to explain. Let me see. More than a third of under 40 would refuse conscription in the event of World War III under 40. And you have to take into account also you got prior military. I'm quite sure in UK, just like the United States, you have prior military, so they could be possibly called up as well, man. And you know, in the event that, you know, they're needed, man. We'll go to scriptures real quick. Now this guy here talks about 2 days ago, Sunak, which is in UK, forces to rule out the army draft in Russia as war threats rise. But if the intensifications, you know, continue, man, they're going to have it, man. The scripture talks about people dying in war. It's going to happen, man. Esau can try to delay whatever he can delay. Of course he's going to do that. And really, he's a controlled opposition anyway. But at the end of the day, he's going to do the will of the Lord anyway, man. On the left-hand side or otherwise, man. So they can try to delay or postpone or rescind relating to the inevitable, man. All right, let's get some scriptures, man. I seen a video, a little bit of it, talking about, you know, relating to UK. 2nd Ezra 16. Let's get that. Around 33. Virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. Women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. So they're not going to have no significant other, significant respective, other relating to spouse, man. In wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. In wars, read that again. In wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. So either famine or wars, and wars is part of that sword, man. Go to Isaiah real quick, 3. Scripture talks about the first woe has come, and the second and third woe thereafter. That's 9:12 of Revelations. The second woe has passed, and the third woe cometh quickly. Revelations 11 and 14. Woe means for destruction, man. That's what that means. So World War III is going to happen, man. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in war. So the mighty relates to the soldiers, man. And men shall fall by the sword. You know what I mean? Judgment. And part of that sword also is war, man. You know? And her gates shall lament and mourn, and being desolate shall sit upon the ground, man. Pretty much the state and condition of what's going to be, man. So that's going to happen, man. World War III is going to happen, man. We already in proxy incremental stages relating to that. These are setup zones, man. You seeing relating to these different countries, man. You already seeing it. It's just the difference is it's not full blown with missiles flying all over, as the men always state, man. You know, you just don't see them missiles hitting over here yet. When you see that, then you know, uh-oh, there's something going down, man. You know what I mean? The point is, man, it's not full blown yet with the missiles. But these countries are setting up for position, man. The Lord is, and from a spiritual aspect, is spiritually lining up these chess pieces on the chessboard. Lining these countries. These countries are the pieces on that chessboard. He's lining them up to ultimately relating certain things, man. So the Lord is methodically and strategically lining them up. It's a spiritual thing. Go to 1 Corinthians, let me see, Corinthians 2 and 14. Go to that real quick. Because a lot of people don't think these things will never happen, man. 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God. The natural man is the carnal man. You know what I mean? They cannot perceive these things, man. They can't understand these things. For they are foolish unto him. So when you saying relating to, from a spiritual aspect, certain things are going to happen according to the scriptures relating to World War III, MOTB, which is Revelations, which everybody's going to be aggressively forced to participate in, these things will be foolish to them, man, because they have no understanding, man. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit, for they are foolish unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. So you have to have the discernment spiritually to understand these things. A carnal man is not going to understand relating to spiritual matters, man. Now, pertaining to that, because scriptures talk about that's going to happen, man, relating to World War III. There's scriptures to justify that these things are going to happen. And there's going to be a draft. A draft relates to a conscription. There's going to be a draft. They could try to delay it, whatever, say that it's not going to happen. But they're not in charge, man. Yahweh Bashim Yoshua is in charge, man. He determines ultimately. The Lord controls the hearts of man. Let me see something. Let me see if a scripture I need. Here we go. Let me see. Let me go to Isaiah 13. We're going to 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. How he's going to stir them up is put it in their mind to actually do something, man. You know what I mean? Which shall not regard silver as for gold, and they shall have no delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity upon the wound. A nation of a fierce countenance, they shall not regard young or old. Deuteronomy 28 and 50. Their eyes shall not spare children. Let me read it from here. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord of hosts, in the day of his fierce anger, which is his indignation, man. Pretty much the earth moving to and fro, man. And it shall be as a chased roe, and a sheep that no man taketh up. Pretty much a shepherd. And that chased roe is a deer on the loose, man, running for his life. They shall, every man turn into his own people. Everybody's going to go to their own kind, man. It's not going to be a kumbaya day that day. Everybody's going to go to their own kind, their own land, their own kind, man. That's the separation, man. That we call the separation, the segregation. They're going to go to one of their own kind, man. To their own kind, man. It's not going to be what you see now, man. That separation, that divide, you know what I mean? The scripture talks about, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one to his own land. Every one that is found shall be thrust through. So that's why that Chase Row is running, man, because it's found is going to be slaughtered, man, with the sword, man. And everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. Though joined hand in hand, they shall not go unpunished, man. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Good example of that, Ezekiel 9:4-6, man. Not regard young or old, young maids, young children. You know what I mean? So being indiscriminate as far as judgment, man. For the Lord is not a respecter of persons, man. So the Lord's going to put that spirit relating to the Medes, not to be a respecter of persons, man. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. That's sexually assaulted, man. Put it nicely. But I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. As for gold, they shall not delight in it. And right here, relating to their wives ravished, that gives you a good example of the vulgarity and the violence relating to this Bible, man. It's not a lovey-dovey, goody two-shoe book, man. It has violence in here. It talks about various things, man. And ravish, we know what that stands for, you know what I mean, ultimately. You know, so that gives you a good example of the things that's going to pertain into Scripture, man. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and shall have no pity upon on the fruit of thy womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, man. In Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellently shall be as when God overflew Sodom and Gomorrah, man. They'll never read these scriptures in the Bible, you know what I mean? They'll lose their parishioners or their customers. But these scriptures, this is the real this is the nitty gritty of the Bible, man. And these things are going to come to pass, man. World War III, 9 and 5, Isaiah 9 and 5, man. This relates to the confused noise that relates to the ancient times where they fought hand to hand using swords and different weaponries, the clanking noises. That's the noise. That's for example of that. The samurais, the gladiators, for example. Let's go to for every battle of the warriors with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. So bloody garments, man. But they shall be with burning fuel of fire. And the burning fuel of fire is the radiation, the missiles, man. You know. Go to was that First of Peter's? Let me see, or Second Peter's. Fervent heat, here we go. Yeah, 2 Peter's 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Scripture talks about, woe to you who desire the day of the Lord, for what end is it going to be for you? For the day of the Lord is not not a day of light, but dark, very dark. I'm paraphrasing. Let's start with 5:16 to Amos on down, man. So the day of the Lord, man, is not going to be a good day, man. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. So it's gonna creep on these people, man. In which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, the missiles, and the elements melt with fervent heat, man. The fervent heat is radiation, man. That's what that talks about. And the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. There was a video relating to a guy talking about being afraid relating to World War III. Yeah, he is afraid, man. Most people are going to be afraid. They don't want that to happen because it'll be the end be all. It'll be the end be all relating to wars, man. Number 11. Seeing then all these things shall be dissolved. You know, knowing these things and also seeing what's going to happen. What manner, hearing these things relating to, according to the scripture, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness. Pretty much knowing regarding these matters, man. Looking for a hasten into the coming of the day of God, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, man. And that's everything, man. The radiation, everything in this path is going to melt and dissolve it, man. That's what that goes to. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat, man. Fervent heat, man. Look up that word fervent, man. Very hot, beyond what we can comprehend. What is hot, man? Very hot, glowing, fervent sun, exhibiting or marked by great intensity of feeling, man. This is radiation. This is nuclear radiation, man. This is beyond comprehension of what, as far as what level of intensity of heat and degree and temperature, man. We can't even fathom, man. It's extremely beyond hot, man. If it dissolves and melts with fervent heat, man, it dissolves. It's hot enough to melt anything on this earth, man. That's pretty hot, man. Let me see. That's how the radiation is going to be zealous. Let me see. That's 2 Peter's. So UK relating to World War III, relating to the draft, daily articles, various articles, Daily Mail, The Sun, The Mirror, Daily Express. So pertaining to, you know, they worry, fears relating to the continuation with Russia. Is it going to be, are people going to get drafted? Especially at a certain age group from what, 18 to 41, from 18 and plus up. So they're concerned about that, of course. So that was a few scriptures relating to that. More articles relating to that here. And U.S. Army conscription age and rules as NATO prepares for World War III. Like I said, you have all these countries preparing, doing joint drills, 31 countries. Give you a few examples. Germany, Poland, Norway, Romania, Lithuania, and Latvia. Just a few, you know what I mean? So, and 31, you know what I mean? You know, so until what, end of May this year, man, 2024. So they preparing for war, man. Joel 3, talk about that. Get that real quick. Okay, let's say Poland, Germany, Poland, Germany, Poland, Germany, then you have Lithuania, Latvia, Romania, and various other countries, man. I was saying. So, Joel 3, let's get that. Yeah, I know. Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, let them men of war draw near and let them come up. So that's pretty much they're preparing for war, man. That's what they're talking about. Beat your plowshares and the swords, the preening hooks, and the spears. Agricultural material, they be used as formidable weapons, man. Assemble yourselves and come, and ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about. Thither they cause the mighty ones to come down, O Lord. So these men are gathering for war, man. You know what I mean? That's what that is, man. Proclaim, announce relating to these soldiers, man, preparing war, man. Let the heathen be awake, come up in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for he is judged, for that'll be where the Lord will judge, man, for God is judge. You got Megiddo, which is Amaganwan, which is the mountain of troops. For there where I will sit to judge the heathen round about. You know what I mean? So the Lord's preparing these nations to come up, man. You got Revelations 12. You got 2nd Esdras 11 and 13. You know. All eyes shall see him, even ones that pierced him. Revelations 1 and 7. You know. Let me see. We got. Put ye in the sickle for the harvest is right. Come get ye down from the presses full. Fats over. The press is full, the fats overflow, and for their wickedness is great. Multitude, multitude in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near, valley of decision. So these nations are gathering, relating to, they're going to ultimately, Revelation 17 and 16. All right. Talking about they should hate the whore, you know what I mean, burn her with fire, naked in fire, man. You know what I mean? That's Revelation 17 and 16. You know what I mean? So that's what that talks about. So these nations are for war, man. You know, these nations are preparing for war, man. And they're gonna prepare for the fight against the Lord, man, ultimately, man. So that being said, Shalak for the interruption. I want to give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shem Kakada Zaya Shalom.